So Sean, one of the things that I've realized just talking again to a lot of the people who have demoed Funnel Flare is that some people have different approaches, I guess, to generating more business. And when I say more business, more leads in the door, more sales, more revenue. Some of them take like a marketing approach, whereas some of them are taking a sales approach. So I think one of the things that people need to think about is this whole concept of marketing automation versus sales process automation. What are some of the top line topics, or what are some of the biggest attributes that differentiate these two things?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's almost about the question's almost about what is marketing's job, what's sales job, and I think that in a lot of companies that's not clearly defined. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
the companies don't have, these are marketing folks, these are sales folks. They just have folks that are go get some business. What are you doing today? We don't have enough money in the door, and if it's a case that you've been spending your life as a sales professional and you're now challenged with some of the things that are traditionally marketing, at the end of the day, in my mind, it's a sales professional is somebody that is engaging with people, right? And he or she is talking to people. They're really in the zone when they're having connections with people, right? They're picking up the phone and talking to people and helping people solve problems, right? Whereas in my mind, a traditional, if you will, marketing approach is to make it easier for those sales professionals to sell. That's really what it is. So what do I mean by making it easier for those professionals to sell? It's, get them prospects that with reasonable certainty have a problem that the product or service that the sales professional is prescribing, so to speak, is a fit. They have a need, and the product and service will fit. So it's again very very broad strokes. Typically, a marketer, what I'm thinking about is that if a marketer is getting up every day thinking, gee, I got to be talking to more people because people are who buy. So I just need to get 5 more people on the phone to see if they're right for sales. And that's typically not the persona of a marketing person, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Marketing person.
that sounds like a sales development resource, or like an SDR in the terminology, right? That's typically under sales. Sales will typically have those people who burn up the phone lines, making calls out and getting a hold of as many prospects as possible.
But if I'm talking about, marketing, I would say is most marketers think about how do I change the world and make sure that every single person on this planet that is a fit clearly understands the positioning of the product and is motivated to come and engage with the company. Right? It's not, can I go talk to a bunch of people? So yeah, that's where the line in my mind is the marketers are really fishing with big nets, and they're creative. They're trying to find everybody on the planet that is fits the customer profile, the persona that the company is looking for, trying to feed salespeople or introduce these people to the sales organization.
Yeah.
So in the broad strokes, clearly, yeah, in my mind, marketers fish with more creative channels. They're fishing with bigger nets. Whereas when it starts getting close to people talking to people, that's when that's where the gray line is, and that's where our sales organization is. So there's tool sets there are tools that are good for designed for the marketers, and they're typically multi-channel. There's lots of neat features and stuff to help understand which of these many things is working. Whereas on the sales side, it's really about that people thing. How many people am I talking to? How many am I connecting with? How far am I getting into the organization? This type of stuff. So, and I think there's some fantastic tools like, for example, Funnel Flare, that is designed to help salespeople connect with more people faster and more efficiently, right?
With the salesperson in the driver's seat the whole time. Salesperson is deciding, for I'm going to run this sales sequence with these prospects. I'm going to do them one after the other after the other. Whereas with the marketer, they're advertising to 10,000 people that match a demo, or they're emailing 20,000 people from this, or they're remarketing, or they're applying these broad base marketing efforts to raise brand awareness and generate more leads, but like at scale. They would never say, here's 100 people, I'm going to call them one after the other. That's more typically something that an SDR or a salesperson would do.
Yeah, it's interesting, even if you look at the stats on email open rates, right, and email engagement. The uh, sales enablement, if you're doing, it's very highly targeted messages to people coming
Hmm.
from the salesperson, and the engagement rate on those emails are typically really, really high. Whereas, you say to any marketer, what are you getting from an open rate perspective? Because they're fishing with such high nets. It's not that they're
Yeah.
doing a horrible job. It's hard to I think the problem that marketers face is, how do I fish with a big net and get people to engage? Chances of them getting hyper targeted, very, very specific people with their buyer persona on this exact email, and there's 10,000 of those people, the probability is low, right?
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, is that the marketing tools are designed for that, whereas sales tools are designed for uh, sales efficiency. So I think that there is a difference between, that's why there's a concept of a CRM, right? And the marketers know what the CRM is, and but you can't say to them, can you manage my CRM and make sure that I have everything I need as a salesperson in the CRM? All they really know about is pushing leads into the CRM, right? So
Yeah,
I think there
exactly.
are tools that are appropriate and designed to make salespeople's jobs uh, more efficient, more productive. And there's definitely some marketing tools that, yes, salespeople can use them. And if you're trying to solve a marketing problem, but again, I guess it's just thinking about, are you solving a sales problem, or are you solving a marketing problem? And then if
Yeah.
you understand that, get the tools that are right for the job you're trying to solve.
Yeah, I think the channel would be a good place to know which one you're doing as well. If your channel is phone, text, emails one by one, reaching out on social, that's really sales or
Yeah.
prospecting. Whereas if you're using SEO, SEM, like Google Ads and Facebook ads and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
large scale emails, like that's firmly on the marketing side. So that's a pretty easy way to tell which one you're doing. You might be doing both. You might be doing both, and you might need both. But more typically, with most organizations, sales will be sticking to like those sales channels, whereas marketing will be sticking to the marketing channels. But I mean, like with every organization, there's always those outliers and those exceptions where it gets gray and muddy in the middle, where perhaps marketing and sales might be playing in the same area.
Yeah, and it's the reality. You could take a screwdriver and pound in a nail, right?
Hmm.
It's going to get the nail in. It's going to be painful. You know what I mean? You might take you way longer than just getting a hammer. And I would say, think about, if I was buying tools or thinking about tools, is uh, 80% of my day, or 80% of my time, is going to be focused on this sweet spot. Then if 80% of your time is screwing, putting in screws, get a screwdriver. And if it's 20% of the time you got to whack a nail, okay, so be it. But if you're tasked with fishing with big nets, and you're never going to talk to any of these people, and you just want them to go and self-serve and buy, then it sounds to me like you need marketing tools, not sales tools, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Taking that time to log where you're spending your time, where the
Yeah.
biggest opportunity is. Like actually writing down on a piece of paper where your time is being spent is a great way of finding out whether you need that sales automation tool or that sales process automation tool, or whether you need marketing automation like Active Command, for example.
Yeah, and another thing that to consider when you're looking at these tools, whether it's a sales tool or marketing, you'll find that many marketing systems, they do a poor job of integrating with the sales CRM, right? So if you're buying a tool and it just doesn't integrate with the CRM the way it should, then arguably it is a marketing tool, not a sales tool, right? So if you're out looking at tools and the whole focus of the tool is to be, in the tool as opposed to in the CRM, you know, I think it is arguably not the best software for a salesperson. It still serves a purpose, right? But I would say that when trying to understand or differentiate, am I buying sales tools or marketing tools, look at how it integrates with the CRM, right? Because even if it is a marketing tool and it does a bad job of integrating with the CRM, it's just going to create a mess. That's the reality of it.